Welcome to Solution Sunday episode 1. Today we are going to talk about the ranked system of RuneScape Chronicle. While I think the general concept of how the ladder works is fine, I believe there are big flaws when it comes to Diamond League. Currently, when you reach Platinum League, the elo of your account will start to change when you play against Platinum or Diamond opponents. If you don't know what elo is and how it works, check out the link in the description. As long as you don't reach Diamond, your elo is completely meaningless to you. But if you do reach Diamond, your elo will decide at what rank you get placed into Diamond, because in Diamond your rank is decided by your elo. If you don't play once within 3 days, your elo will decay, which means that you will lose a lot of ranks. This might seem like a reasonable system, but it has two rather big flaws. It encourages people not to play the game, and it's unfair. These two problems are tied into each other. Anybody who is in the top 10 is rather unmotivated to play ranked games, unless they are trying to go for rank 1. This is because they are afraid of dropping out of the top 10. A lot of the top 10 players, especially towards the end of the season, just don't play ranked at all. They play one game every 3 days to protect their account from elo decay, and that's it. And you can't really blame these players for doing that, because getting into the top 10 is very hard. Meanwhile, everybody who is not in the top 10 but trying to make it there will only get to play against opponents with lower elo the vast majority of their games. Elo difference does not properly reflect skill difference, because the top 10 players barely ever put their elo at risk, and that's why climbing into the top 10 is so hard. Especially when you are between rank 11 and 20, you almost never get to play against someone who has higher elo than you. So you have to have a really high win rate in order to even climb, because losing against players with low elo hits your own elo very hard. Another problem is the fact that you can get placed into the top 10 straight after your promotion from Platinum. This usually happens when players have a really good run through Platinum. Keep in mind that in Platinum you will frequently play against gold players as well, so rushing through Platinum isn't exactly a big achievement for players that were already in Diamond the previous season. Because it's so easy to get placed right into the top 10, there are players that sit at rank 1 gold until the season is almost over, and then they hope to get a good enough run through Platinum so that their name is on the leaderboard at the end of the season. In my opinion, it shouldn't be possible to be considered top 10 of the world in this game when you haven't even played a single game in Diamond League. It's not fair to players that actually still play the game once they've reached Diamond, and combined with the weak elo decay system, it's not very encouraging to play the game after reaching Diamond. It even feels punishing for players that do play the game when they see how easily some players got their spot on the leaderboard, just by having a good run through Platinum. Now we have identified two mechanics that need to get changed: the elo decay that only happens after not playing for 3 days, and players getting placed straight into the top 10. So let's find solutions. Solving the problem with the elo decay is easy, you just make it stricter. I think 72 hours is fine, but only having to play one game within those 3 days in order to avoid elo decay is not. The game of Chronicle maybe takes about 10 minutes average, if even that. If you want to be the top 10 in the world, you shouldn't be able to get away with not even casually playing the game. In my opinion, the number of games that have to be played within those 72 hours should be raised to at least 3. Especially once there is a mobile version of RS Chronicle, this is completely reasonable. The new rule should apply to all players in Diamond. The problem with players getting placed into the top 10 is a little bit harder to solve. You can't just make elo exclusive to Diamond players, because for Diamond players all games against Platinum players will be meaningless. They might just end up conceding instantly, so they don't waste their time with a game that serves no purpose. It also wouldn't help if players already had elo in gold or silver. If anything, it would make the situation even worse. What should be done is that your elo gets reset once you get promoted to Diamond League. This way everybody will start at the middle of Diamond, which is fair. Players that want to make it onto the leaderboard will have to work for it, and thanks to the stricter elo decay, they will get the chance to play against the top 10 players more frequently. I'm confident that these solutions would improve the current situation remarkably, and I have nothing else to add to the topic. If you want to add your own ideas, feel free to do so in the comment section. That's it for today's Solution Sunday. Please leave feedback on the new format if you have any. Alright, goodbye.